All right, guys, we're going to start graphing rational functions. Basically means fraction functions, functions with fractions in them, especially with x's in your denominator. So I'm going to show you a few here. First of all, I want to show you just a glimpse. Those pictures right there are kind of what your graph's going to look like today. Okay, several different options there, but that's two curves like that, kind of what they're going to look like. The dotted lines you see in those graphs, the graphs getting closer and closer to it, called asymptotes, which we did asymptotes with exponential and logarithm graphs too. So I'm going to have some asymptotes here. All right, parent function. The parent function of a rational function is this right here. It's just 1 over x. F of x is 1 over x. Now, think about 1 over x a second. You're never allowed to have 0 in your denominator, which is why x can't be 0, which is why your vertical asymptote is always right there. Unless it's been shifted, it's going to be right there because it can't touch x is 0, and that's where x is 0 all along that line. There's also a horizontal asymptote, and this works this way. I hope you understand this a little bit. When you put a very large number in the bottom of that fraction right there, let's say you start putting in 1 over 1,000, 1 over 1,000,000, and it starts getting really, really huge. What's happening is that fraction is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's getting closer and closer to 0. Right now, it will never get to 0 because no matter what you put down there, it's still going to be a little bit above 0, but it's going to get infinitely close. That's kind of hard to think about, but that's why, and the same thing happens if you put in negative numbers, really, really small negative numbers. That's why the graph's getting closer and closer to the y-axis. And again, it's getting closer and closer to the x because you cannot put a 0 in for x. You can get really, really close to it, but you cannot substitute a 0 for x. The shape is called a hyperbola, which may be a new word for you. And they're both symmetrical branches, it says, and the domain and range, or we'll talk about that in a second, and the asymptotes. All right, we're going to compare two graphs here just to show you something. I've already got them graphed, but I want to show you kind of where it comes from. If I were to graph this, first of all, the 1 over x, by the way, 1 over x means reciprocal of what's on the bottom. That's what it means. So if I plug in a -3, I get -1/3. If I plug in -2, I get -1/2. -1, you get -1. +1, 1. 2, 1/2. 3, 1/3. That's, I don't know why I just wrote that in red. That's actually the blue function right there. So notice it goes through 1, 1, -1, 1. 2, 1/2, 1/2, 2, all those numbers. Okay, now the second one, when you do a forward, I'm actually doing this one. I'm going backwards. Might as well keep going backwards. If you put 4 over x, if I put -3 in there, I get -4/3, -2, -4, +4, +2, and then 4/3. That's just putting the numbers in that bottom number right there. So look what happens then. Instead of -1, -1, you get -2, 2, which is what that is. That point right there. Let me go back to blue. Right there. You get -2, -2 down there. You get, what else do we get? We get 1, -4. So 1, -4, way down there. You get 4, 1, right there. So that 4, just like it used to be, that's a vertical stretch. It took all their numbers, multiplied the y by 4, and stretched that first graph vertically like we always did. Imagine that. All right, graphing translations of these things. Same stuff is true. It says, first of all, draw the asymptotes x equals h and y equals k. Your vertical asymptote is going to be whatever makes the denominator 0. It's going to be whatever makes the denominator 0. Your horizontal asymptote, gosh, for today, is going to be whatever is added out there. Okay, and I'm going to give you some gestures for these tomorrow. I know you can't wait for that. But they're really, really good. And they're going to show you how to do all these really, really quickly without doing a whole lot of, I shouldn't say this out loud, a whole lot of thinking. So gestures will help you a lot. Okay, so anyway, it says do this. Draw the asymptotes first. Plot points on the left side and right side of the vertical. You got to have part of your graph on each side of that line right there, and then draw draw the hyperbola that passes through those points. Okay, let's try one like they want us to do it. Okay, first of all, the vertical asymptote, whatever makes the denominator 0, which is -2. So I'm going to draw the vertical asymptote right through -2. The horizontal asymptote is the number that's out here, which is -1. So I'm going to draw a big bold line through -1. Those are the two asymptotes. Now, we're going to do a little XY table here to get some points on each side of the vert. Okay, so if I go, the vertical's at -2. So if I go like -1 and 0, for example, that's going to give me 2 points on that side. So if I put -1 in there, wow, it gives me -4 over 1 minus 1, which is -4, which is -5. So -1, -5 is a point. I'm going to go there, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. And I'm also going to put 0 in there. If I put 0 in there, it gives me negative 4 over 2 minus 1, which is negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 3. So I'm going to go to 0, negative 3, which is right there, which means that part of the graph is going to do this. It's going to get closer and closer to the asymptote and go through those 2 points. We do the same thing on the left side of the vertical, which means I'm going to plug in negative 3. If I plug negative 3 in out there, I get negative 4 over negative 1 minus 1. That's 4 minus 1, which is 3. So I plugged in negative 1 and got 3. So negative 1. I'm sorry, I plugged in negative 3 and got 3. Sorry about that. Negative 3, 1, 2, 3 right there. And I'll go one more point to the left, which would be negative 4. I'm just going two points to the left and 2 points to the right of the vertical asymptote. Negative 4, if I put negative 4 in there, I get negative 4 over negative 2 minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, which is 1. So I'm going to go to negative 4, 1, which is right there. Connect those two, and it should be, yeah, should be basically kind of a reflection of the first one. Okay, one more slide. All right, graph this one, state the domain and range. Okay, this is one where, I forgot domain and range last time, so let's do domain and range on this one for sure. How can I say this? I'm going to give you a little bit different way. Let's do the vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote is still the same. Whatever makes your denominator 0. So it's x equals 3. So I'm going to draw the vert right through 3, right through there. The horizontal, this is one of the gestures I'm going to give you tomorrow. Check the degree at the top and degree at the bottom. This time they're both 1. If both degrees are 1, like these are, it's going to be the leading coefficient on the top over leading coefficient on the bottom, which is going to be 2 over 1, which is 2. And I'll make that make more sense tomorrow, I promise you. So horizontal is going to be y equals 2, which is right there. And then let's take a point. Let's put points in there. My vertical's at 3, so I need to plug in x is 4, x is 5. And I need to go to the other side also, so I'll probably plug in 2 and 1 on the other side. So if I plug in 4 up there, I'm getting 9 over 1, so I get 4 or 9. If I plug in 5, I'm getting 11 over 2, which is 11 halves, which isn't great, but that's okay. So 4, 9, let's see, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, way up there. And then 5, 11 halves. 11 halves is 5 and a half, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. There's my 2 points. I'm going to connect those. I didn't mean to go red again. Let's go green. Kind of like that right there. I need to see the 2 points though. One's there, one's there. And if I plug in 2 up there, if I plug in 2, I would get 5 on the top and negative 1 on the bottom. It's negative 5. So I plugged in 2, got negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I plug in 1, I would get 3 on the top, negative 2 on the bottom, negative 3 halves. So I plug in 1, I get negative 3 halves right there. So that part of the graph is going to do this. And there it is. Oh, domain and range. This is what we need to key on so we can close up this video. This is probably a little bit longer than usual. Domain. Remember, domain is how far your graph goes left to right. Well, if you look at the bottom right here, I'm going to kind of point this out right there. Let's go on left forever. So I'm going to go left forever. But as you're coming to the right, it has to jump over. I'm going to say a jump over. It kind of jumps over the vertical asymptote. So it goes to 3, but then starts back at 3 and goes forever to the right there. So it's all real numbers except for 3, where that vertical asymptote is. And so wherever your vertical asymptote is, that number is going to be your domain. Your range, remember, how far up and down is it going? Well, it's going down forever. So I'm going negative infinity. It's coming up, 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 but then it jumps over the horizontal asymptote. Where's the horizontal asymptote? 2. And then it goes forever again. So your domain is going to be connected to your vertical asymptote. Your range is going to be connected to your horizontal asymptote. Guys, that's a lot of info in this video. I think this will be one of those. Not sure how y'all do this every week, but this would be a good video to watch after the lesson, or maybe on Thursday before your test Friday, because it would be good to look at this again. And once you've done this stuff and reviewed it a couple of times, it'll make so much more sense. All right, so I don't know if you'll do it, but it'll be a great idea. See you tomorrow.